Man, Marvel Studios is getting real weird with it. I mean, they're bringing back Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom. Still kind of hard to believe. And it's a weird situation, man, because the internet's kind of divided on it, but we also can't look away from it. We can't stop thinking about it. We can't stop talking about it. I mean, it has dominated the conversation ever since it was revealed Saturday night. Well, buckle up, Marvel fans, because I think it's going to get a whole lot weirder. Because I could see a scenario in which Marvel Studios does a dark side version of every single OG Avenger. What the f? I know that sounds absolutely nuts, but just walk with me on this one. Let me cook. And also understand that after RDJ AS Doctor Doom, literally anything's possible. Like, holy shit. Now, one of the main reasons that I think this is going down has to do with the sort of fundamentals of the decision with Robert Downey Jr. Now, to be fair, we don't fully understand what Marvel's plan is with this, but recently, insider Alex Perez confirmed something that I was suspicious about. Alex basically said that Marvel Studios had wanted Robert Downey Jr. as an evil variant of Iron Man for some time, likely even before Kang Dynasty, but especially after that whole situation fell apart, Marvel wanted an evil variant of Iron Man. And the whole reason they wanted this is because it is crazy to have the guy that is the savior of the 616 universe, the guy that beat Thanos, the guy we all love, all the characters in the universe love this guy, and it's just so damn juicy to get an evil variant of him threatening the entire multiverse. That is something Marvel Studios was really interested in. Now, Alex admits that going for it with Doctor Doom is something he didn't see coming. It's something I didn't see coming. It's absolutely bananas. But it does show us what is on Kevin Feige's mind, what he's trying to accomplish with these next two Avengers movies. And it kind of feels like what they're really cooking is having an evil variant of Iron Man as Doctor Doom be so terrible, so bad that we are forced to bring back a good variant of Tony Stark, an actually heroic variant of Iron Man from the multiverse. And that is something that other insiders are hinting at as well. Cryptic HD was talking about this on Twitter. He said it's absolutely happening, and you're going to have Tony Stark meet Victor Von Doom, both played by RDJ, in an upcoming project. And if that's the plan, and we're going back to the nostalgic OG Avenger squad, it just makes sense to have that in reverse, to have all evil variants of those OG Avengers. And you know what? Another reason as to why this would make sense is because I bet freaking RDJ is super excited to play Doctor Doom. I think he's excited to do something very different than the version of Tony he played for all of those years. And I bet every single other actor in that OG Avengers team would want to do the same. I also think this just creates unlimited, awesome, cool character moments. Like, I had a scene in my mind yesterday where Doctor Doom, RDJ Doctor Doom, basically repeats the line of, like, we have a Hulk, but instead of it being regular Hulk, it would be Maestro Hulk, and he's like literally intelligent, badass, and he's gonna fight our Hulk and whoop everybody up. And come to think of it, having the sort of cardigan wearing Professor Hulk have to face down against Maestro Hulk and have to become more powerful again in order to defeat him. That's so cool. It's like a physical representation of the heroes beating their worst aspects, of like beating the villainous part of even themselves, but it's like literal and figurative. It kind of works. So ultimately, this is really fun for the actors themselves to be able to play a different version. It's very nostalgic and fun for the fans because you get to see a different version of the Avengers, and it would create really freaking cool character moments, man. And if they're willing to do this with Tony Stark, again, I just think it would make sense for them to do it with all of the rest of the Avengers. And in fact, this variant, this Tony Stark Doctor Doom, he might well assemble his own team of Avengers with this specific purpose in mind. Maybe it's like mental warfare, and he grabs up these variants to help defeat the Avengers of 616. And now I want to talk to you about these evil variants, because there's a ton of variants in the comic books, a ton of different things they could pull from to give us really dope, very villainous versions of the OG Avengers. And of course, you got Doctor Doom, Tony Stark. That's absolutely epic. We've talked a lot about that in we're still going to keep talking about it. But I mean, this is an obvious comic book connection. Stark and Victor Von Doom, very similar characters. They've had a lot of experiences in comics, and it'll be cool to see this version of Doctor Doom that is essentially Tony Stark. That's really what I think they're cooking up. And we've talked about Maestro Hulk, and I think Maestro Hulk is the perfect version of Hulk to face down against the regular Hulk. This would be from an alternate timeline where Hulk's like one of the last people remaining. He becomes a ruler. He beats up all of the other heroes and villains in that universe. Super freaking strong. But if Doom is stronger than him and promises this Maestro Hulk a timeline of his own when Secret Wars is over, then I could see Maestro actually working for the Tony Stark Doctor Doom. And the next one would be Captain America, and the obvious move here is Hydra Captain America. You want a version of Cap that actually joins with Hydra, becomes a dictator, rules over an entire world, maybe even has awesome freaking weapons like Asgardian weapons, maybe even his own set of Stark armor, which does come from the comic book run where they did Secret Empire with the Hydra Cap. And Hydra Cap would be absolutely sick. You know, Evan would love to play that version of the character, and it would be super cool to pit him against Sam Wilson, and then maybe also have the actual Steve Rogers from 616 pop up again in an attempt to help Sam defeat that version of Cap. It would be mind-blowing, dude. I just can't wait. If they really do that, holy shit. Black Widow, we actually have a really crazy version from the comics called Clairvoyant. This is a really crazy variant of Black Widow, actually from the old Timely comics. This was literally published in 1940. This version of Black Widow can actually communicate with the dead via some weird telepathy thing. She's actually killed and then actually resurrected by the devil and made an agent of the devil. So she's a little bit like Spawn in some ways, kind of crazy. But I say, why not? Like, go for it. This would be a crazy callback. Do a really insanely powerful version of Natasha that is an agent for evil spirits. Maybe Chthon, maybe even Mephisto or something like that. So they could do that with Natasha. And I do believe our Natasha will actually return. Probably not in Doomsday, but perhaps in Secret Wars. Once the entire universe is either destroyed or Battle World is created, I think really all bets are off, and even people that sacrifice themselves for the Soul Stone could potentially return. When it comes to Hawkeye, you got a couple options, right? You could just do like a version of Ronin where he just goes full darkness there and becomes like some kind of dark ninja god. Or there's actually a wild sort of Elseworld what if story from 1969 where Hawkeye actually gets Pym particles and grows to be giant like Goliath. It's kind of crazy. And I would imagine, like, how wild would it be to see an evil Hawkeye with the power of Goliath? That would be nuts, dude. Like, that's actually super dangerous and would throw, you know, a huge threat out to the OG Avengers. And oh man, when it comes to Thor, I got a real crazy one for him. This is from a Loki comic in 2019, Thor the Unfathered. This was actually a variant of Thor that's combined with Ultron. So he's got like part Ultron face. One of his arms is made up of Ultron. And it might be the case that Ultron took over Thor, or in the case of the MCU, maybe they have it be that Doctor Doom RDJ puts Ultron into the brain of Thor, combining them so that he can actually control the God of Thunder. But think about it, man. A variant of Thor that's part Ultron with all these Ultron drones using the power of Thor and like the Thor Force, the Odin Force combined with the might of freaking Ultron. That is a crazy villain and one that I would love to see our Thor fight against in Secret Wars. That would be epic. And so those are 6 evil versions of the OG Avengers that I would love to see get brought in with an RDJ, Doctor Doom, and the evidence for me thinking that Marvel might actually do this. So hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And as I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video.